guys, welcome to the channel. Nilight reached out to me and they sent me some perimeter lighting for the 4x4 Mercedes Sprinter. What I have here, or what I'm going to unbox, is lighting for the front, the rear, the sides, as well as some interior lighting. It should be all the hardware to set up everything I need, all the wiring. So let's do an unboxing and see what we got here. You can see these came from Amazon. So they do have Amazon store. If you have an Amazon account, you can order them. Order all these products. They come pretty quick depending on where you live. It only took 1 or 2 days for these products to get to me. So this seems to be some wiring hardness. This is a 12-inch light bar. So these will go on the sides. This is a wiring hardness. And got a little pamphlet here. There's like a nice metal casing. Some stainless steel screws. Seems very good quality. So we got 2 of these. We got the wiring harness. We got 2 6.5-inch light bars. These will be for the rear. Comes with the wiring harness as well. The brackets. All with stainless steel nuts and bolts. So these will be for the rear. So these are magnets. These are some heavy-duty magnets that will go on the roof of the Sprinter, so we won't have to drill any holes to mount the lights. We will be able to stick these anywhere on the roof, and it will hold the light bar. And that's actually a really good feature, so that you're not drilling holes into the roof of your van. So that's what we're going to mount it with for the front light bar and the rear. We got here. We got some LED truck lights. They're for a bed, the truck bed, to light up the interior of your truck bed. But these are going to go in the interior of the Sprinter. So we're going to use these lights. And we're going to be able to change the colors of the Sprinter with these lights. And these are some more magnetic mounts. And these will be for the light bar as well. So let's get to the big box here. This is the 54-inch light bar provided by Nilight. And I was pretty surprised to see that they do have a 54-inch light bar, especially for the Mercedes Sprinter. Because it's so big. This is the one that we're gonna need. Here we got a blacked out 54-inch beautiful light bar. So you got the vents here for cooling, and it's curved, so it's gonna give us a more range of lighting. And yeah, this will be going on the front. So I also got from Amazon that we're gonna need for the install is some lap sealant, and these things are gonna go on the roof, and we're gonna run the wires through here to get into the cabin of the van. So yes, this is a 54-inch, 312-watt curved LED spotlight floodlight combo, and yeah, can't wait to put this on. So let's get to it. Let's get to the install, and let's go. Okay, so this is the two-piece magnetic LED light bar mounting brackets. They're powerful magnets, and these will be going onto the roof of the Sprinter to hold it up. One for each side. I got one put together here. I'll do the other one, and we'll get this set up on the light bar, the mounting brackets, and we'll get the placement on the van. Now we could face these inwards or outwards. Okay, so we got the magnetic mounting brackets on both sides. Let's do a dry fit. Okay, so it's kind of curved the roof, and right now I have the light bar behind the antenna, and I think I want to see how it looks in front of the antenna. So you can see here it's behind the antenna, but to get over here the roof is more curved. So, and you can see already that these aren't, the magnets need to be 100% on the metal to prevent it from flying off. So I'm going to try reversing these so that they're on the inside because they got this groove here. So let me try that and readjusting it. So I have it now in front of the antenna, but you can see that these magnets aren't sitting flush and it would fly off. These bottom rubber pieces need to be flat to have the most hold on the steel roof, and you can see how there's a gap in between there, and there's a gap in between there. I just put a nut there as a washer, but I went to Home Depot. I grabbed some rubber washers, and I'm gonna insert them in here so that it could have that curve, and it will fill in the gaps. So let's do that. So I'm gonna put 4 of these rubber washers in here. Put a washer and a lock washer. That in there. Put the rubber washers in. I'm gonna put 4 of these there. And on the other side, I'm gonna put 2. Okay, so you can see I got the rubber washers in here, and tightening it just enough so it's snug and it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. What I want to do is put another rubber washer on the other side of this, because there is some teeth that prevents it from gripping. I mean, that prevents it from slipping. So I want to put a rubber washer on the other side of that. So you can see the teeth that's in there. And those teeth lock onto the original mounts, but since we're using this, it doesn't have the teeth on it. So I'm gonna put this rubber washer over it, and put a screw with a lock nut. Alright, so I did the same on the other side. Alright, so what that rubber washers are gonna do is it's gonna give it some tension, that it will expand and it will prevent the bolt from loosening, and it will also allow that to flex and get as much magnet force onto the hood of onto the roof of the vehicle. A little tip I did here was I measured the center of it. I put some painter's tape, marked the center of it, and lined it up with this to make sure that you're center. And then you can measure from here to here, do the same on the other side, and from here to here, make sure you're same on both sides so that you're centered. See, you can see how hard it is to come off. And I'm going to clean all this with rubbing alcohol. Got the isopropyl alcohol. Alright, so now that we got the placement of the 54-inch light bar, we're going to start the process of going inside, removing the headliner so that we can run the wires. So now for the fun part, I'm going to have to remove this headliner, run the wires. I'm thinking of making a hole right here, and then run the wire down the pillar into the auxiliary battery. Yeah, let's take off this headliner. I'm not going to film it because I did a video on how to take out the headliner. I'll put a link in the description below. And it's been a while since I took off the headliner, so I'm going to actually watch a video myself and then remove the headliner. Okay, so for the front light bar install, all I'm doing is taking off the first panel of the headliner, and right where this ridge is here, I'm going to install the gland right about here, so that if I ever need to service the lights or attend to the wires, all I really have to do is take off this first panel. So I'm going to go on the top and drill a hole up here and run the wire through the gland. We're on top of the roof of the Sprinter. I got the gland here. Have it placed just about 2.5 inches above this weld, and centered in between these two ridges. So the hole is going to be right about here. I got my butyl tape, rubbing alcohol, some touch-up paint for when I make the hole, the self-drilling tap bolts to go in, and a step drill bit to drill the hole. Some rubbing alcohol. Now what you're going to want to do before you install this is tighten these bolts, because once this is on, you won't be able to tighten the ones that are on the inside. So we have the position 2.5 inches up. I'm going to make our first hole into the roof. Step it up to a bigger hole. Now that we got our hole, we're gonna wanna paint that hole so it doesn't rust. Now while that's drying, we're gonna wanna put our butyl tape around this, around the outer of the gland. Okay, so we have our butyl tape around that. Now we are going to want to have some wire run through here into the hole so that we have something to fish the line through. So we got our wiring harness here, and the wire that's going to go to the LED light bar, we're going to put it through this hole. Just got to move this insulation out the way. So we're going in through that hole, coming up on top. With the wires through. You can place this where you want it to be. Because there's no holes, we're gonna want to drill a hole into the gland. So we will measure the outside of this, and we'll get a drill to fit that size. I'll use a smaller drill bit to make a pilot hole. And now I'll insert the self-tapping screws. You don't want to do it too tight so that you don't crack the plastic. So there you have it. Remove this excess butyl tape. And to do the final waterproofing, we'll use the lap sealant and put it around here. We'll start running the wire through the van now, into the battery and onto the switch. So the way that this gland is going to work is once you have your wire through, you're going to put this rubber I guess washer or seal in there. You're going to put it inside of there, and then this nut goes on top of that. And when you tighten this, that rubber seal in there will tighten up, and then it will make it a watertight seal. Just added the zip tie there, so that will hold it more flat to the roof. And now I'll attach these two so that it can red and black from the light bar to red and black to the wiring harness, and that will go into the van. Okay, so we are in from the roof. We got the power line coming down, the wire harness, and we're gonna run this switch over here for the LED light bar. We're gonna run it right next to in this open one here. So to get into here, to put the button, we're gonna need access, so we're gonna need to take these two off. We got the T25 Torx bit. Okay, so to run the light bar button, I want to have it over here. So I'm gonna have to remove the wires. It's good to take a picture so you know where the wires go. I already took a picture, so I'm just gonna remove these. Okay, I'm gonna want to have this button over here. Now I'm gonna have to make room for this because this is a little bit bigger. I'm gonna have to cut away. I'm gonna have to cut away at these posts over here. I'm gonna cut them away so I can fit the button in. But it's still a little bit bigger here. I'm gonna have to shave off the top of this so it will slide in all the way. Okay, so after shaving that off, you want to make sure that you don't shave off that clip that holds it together. I don't know if you can see it, but I just shaved the top off, and now I'll be able to slide it in. And this one over here will be for the reverse light. Let's now run the wire. To get to the auxiliary battery, I'm gonna have to remove the driver's seat, and I have the swivel seats, but it will be the same. You'd have 4 bolts to remove the Sprinter driver's seat, and then you can gain access to what's underneath. So I'm gonna want to disconnect the power because we're gonna be disconnecting the seat belt. So we'll disconnect the main power and remove the seat. Okay, so I have the seat moved out of the way. Now you can see we have access to this is the positive terminal of the auxiliary battery. So we can connect all our positives to here, and our negatives can go to this bolt here at the bottom. So we're gonna want to run our wire from here down this B pillar and into here, and then we're gonna go from under here into our switch. Okay, so to remove the pillar cover, there's a tie down point here with a torque bit, T45, and we're gonna loosen this up. So now that we got the pillar cover out of the way, we can run the wire behind this cover. Where the wires are going to come into the bottom, we're going to remove this rubber piece of flooring so we can get to the bottom and run the wires underneath the driver's seat into the auxiliary battery compartment. We're also going to want to remove 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. There's three covers that pop out, and then there's 3 torque screws that come out of there. Then we can lift this out, and now I can run the wire that's coming from the roof down through the side here. I'll go through the bottom, and then I'll go through the bottom of the base of the seat. Take the wire that has to go through the switch. I'll run it through the bottom out here. Go along here. So now we're up to the switch. Now we can get that picture that we took and use the picture that we took before as reference and put these connectors back into the switch. I'll put the positive onto this. And the negative will go down here into the negative. Put that cover back on, and Now we can see if the light is on. Okay, so now that I have the light bar button in place, we're all wired up here. I could put the seat back on and let's test this out. Okay, we have the newest addition to the perimeter lighting, the 54-inch Nilight curved LED light bar. So the nice thing about this LED light bar button is that it actually lights up when you turn it on. So let's check it out now. I'll turn off all the lights. And this is just the daytime running lights. Let's turn on the normal lights. And now let's turn on the light bar. Headlights, high beams, light bar. Now this is where you need this light in the backwoods. Let's go with the light bar off. Let's go with the light bar on. Now I do have the two floodlights on the hood, and I also have a 20-inch light bar on here. So let's compare all the three. So this is the floodlights, the 20-inch light bar at the bottom, and now we'll put the 54-inch Nilight LED light bar. "20-inch light bar off, floodlights off, light bar off." And these are the headlights.